Hello, hello. Welcome back to BSG Online 9. I'm TrashaPlays, and I'll be your host for the next couple of hours. Coming up, we got rebeldragon95 with Lost Judgment, the Kaito Files, any percent. Take it away, Rebel.
My name's Rebel. This is Lost Judgment, Kaito Files, as I said. This is the DLC that RGG released for this game. Timing starts when I press OK. So, we'll just get on going. So, I'll go in 3, 2, go. Alright, so, this is a short little DLC that was released afterwards, basically going over a small story with one of the game's secondary characters, Kaito. And I get to play as Kaito, which is also fun because he functions very much like a couple of Kiryu's combat styles in some of the other games. The first things we got to do is you got to do a chase. So Kaito's chases are a little bit different than what they are in the main game. He has a couple more actions to do. Normally, your only actions are move left and right, jump, and like pick stuff. Kaito in this one can run through objects, tell people to move out of the way. That one there. Yeah, this is pretty much an auto scroller where you just have to know where all the inputs are. There's another circle one, triangle one after this one, another circle one after this. But yeah. So the way these work is there's a HP bar at the bottom for Sender, and you basically just have to run until his HP bar hits 0. But in this case, he has to go to a particular location. Then it ends automatically. So yeah, this is basically an auto scroller. You do have to make sure you're positioned in a couple of the right places because sometimes you can like bash into walls and such by not being in the right place to do a QTE. You can tell he's gonna throw something at you because he just goes at the speed of light for like a second there. Right, when he gets to this little crossroad corner thing, stops, then we can drop kick him. So the reason why we're chosen off this guy is because we were doing some investigation on like a scam for this woman, and we were recording him basically admitting to doing it, and then he nicked our voice recorder and ran away, which is why we had to chase him down and grab it. Now we gotta punch him. Alright, so this is Kaito's first fighting style. This is Bruiser. Very similar to Kiryu's Brawler style from Yakuza 0 and Kiwami. But there's a few differences. Like, Kaito has a couple of different animations and stuff he can do. But most of it's pretty similar. Oh, that was okay. Alright. Something I was doing throughout all of that as well is when you're locked onto an enemy, like the fighting stance thing, by holding R1, you can actually dodge cancel. I didn't even do that. You can dodge cancel out of any attacking animation. So you want to dodge cancel out of your finishers so then they go faster, basically. This is the woman that we were helping out. This other guy's Hoshinai. He's not really that important in this story. He kind of just sits there for 3 seconds and he's gone for the rest of it. Right. This text conversation is from Yagami, who's the main character of the Judgment series, but he's gone to the mountains to help out with something, so Kaito's alone and wants to go out drinking, so we're going to ask all our friends. No one's around, so we're going to go out solo. Okay. Right. I gotta go to the bar. Right. This next tutorial was teaching us about, like, the different investigation stuff that Kaito has, so because this game is about detectives and, like, Kaito being a detective, he has like enhanced hearing, sight, and smell. Is the only way I can describe it. Here's the bar. There's a couple of characters who I can never remember the name of because I'm just bad with that. One cutscene in the Kaito Files and they're done. They're actually they appear more in the first game Judgment and in Story of Lost Judgment. This is Sadamoto. Sadamoto comes in to give us a job, so we ask about his wife, because we're looking for his wife. Then we go, nah, not it. So we don't take the job. And then in classic Yakuza story fashion, because this is a Yakuza spin-off game, we end up partaking in that anyway. Right. So what I just did there was, when they made Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, they made it so you could access the taxi list and use it from the menu. But in Like a Dragon, you had to go around and collect all the taxi spots because it was an RPG, so they didn't want you going to like high level areas at low levels and getting absolutely trounced on. But in Lost Judgment, because it's an action RPG, it doesn't matter, you can go wherever, so they made it so you could just go. They just give you the whole taxi list at the start. Right there, I bought a wristband. No, the safety belt, sorry. The belt gives us 5% more attack. I buy level 1 in attack with more damage. And we're going to go to the next tutorial fight. So, the next tutorial fight here is for the tank style, which is basically Beast from Zero and Kiwami. Oh, I didn't mean to grab that guy. And then, yeah, we just beat these guys up with an ashtray. You can use the bench or the ashtray. It doesn't really matter which one you use. It's whichever one you grab first. And that's chapter 1. Alright. So, chapter 2 gets into a little bit more of the backstory of, like, some Kaito stuff. And introduces this woman called Makiko. Basically, right here, practically beating someone up. So we have to look into why she's doing that. CV/resume. You know, we've got our enhanced sense of smell to look at this box of red bean paste sweets. So, she came in to give a gift because her sister owed some money, but then her sister kind of got in a bit of a stuff with the guys, so she got angry and tried to beat someone up. That's the low and short of it, and Kaito's like, hang on a second here, love. We need to seize this. Alright, this is some guys. We're going to pick up a bike and just kind of go nuts on them. Okay, I picked up a bin. Fine. Go. This last guy should have like 1 hit left. Easy money. Alright. I've just got a couple of cutscenes I've got to skip where it introduces a character called Jin, so Trash, if you've got anything you want to say, feel free to go ahead.
I do, yes. I would like to tell you about an incentive we got coming up, Sombrero percent for the new Super Mario Bros. 2 game, where you can donate towards making the runner wear an awesome sombrero. Back to you.
Alright. So, we're going to go to this cafe, because basically Makiko and Kaito spent a lot of time in this cafe. They met up with Mikiko's sister a few times. Oh, cool. Right, now, we need to go gather some information. There's this guy sleeping in the back, but he's listening to some music. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this megaphone. We're going to shout at him. And yeah, that sure wakes him up. Alright. During the time that we're gone, like the 30 seconds, Jin, the redhead kid, got into a fight with these guys. And now we got to beat him up for him. I'm going to buy level 2 in attack. And it's deadly down to upside damage with weapons, so we're going to use that to completely wreck these guys. God, can these guys be further apart? Yeah, they couldn't have been further apart. That happens sometimes. Ideally, you want them to go to the left together, but they went different directions. Right. Now we get told to go to the Champion District to visit someone called Mokoko. We're going to go to East Tahoe Boulevard real quick and run up the Champion District. Is this bit up here. On the way up, we're going to get into a fight with the irrational thugs. And again, I'm going to do this finisher and then I'm going to cancel out of it. Hopefully this guy doesn't hit me. Cool, he has a taser, which is very annoying if he decides to tase you. You have to mash X to get back up again. Alright. So Jin fainted there because the guy had a knife and he has a phobia of knives. It's like... Right, before I go on, I need to upgrade my nose. because there's different items and different things around the map that Kaito can smell and get stuff from. Like this over here, we're going to smell inside this bin-looking thing, and we get a piece of clothing thing that we're going to shove on for more damage in a minute. Right, so we're going to run around the corner here. There's actually a fight spawn here. Fight spawns are pretty common in these games, but in this game, they're not that scary. There's ways to despawn them, like 7 different ways to despawn them. So yeah, we don't need to worry about them. And even if they did see me there, that cutscene there is what we call an area trigger. If you're in combat and you hit an area trigger, the combat just gets despawned for you. So you don't have to worry. Right. Right, she tells us to go downstairs, talk to the cleaning lady, the little girl. We're going to go do that. Okay. Find the cleaning lady. She's over here. She's like, can you get the cat down? And then I'll give you the information that you need. So we're going to get out the drone. Oh, and I mentioned about despawning fights. The way you can despawn fights in this game is you just get the drone out and put it away. And it despawns everything around you in terms of fights and NPCs and such. Alright, this is Sender again. This is the guy we chased at the start. He came back for some more of his boys and we're going to go punch him again. But I'm going to come over here, grab this sign. Start swinging it. And hit him. Can you, like, not do that, please, Sender? Oh, and... you had to hit the guy on the floor and only the guy on the floor. Okay. That wasn't too bad. It's a little bit annoying that the guys didn't get bodied by the sign, but it happens sometimes. Alright, now Sender and the guys done again. Right, now we're going to go to the hideout again, which is up here. On the way in, there's actually an item I want to pick up. So, Kaito does have the normal Yakuza game double finisher, but it's actually hidden behind a collectible item, which is this item down here in this doorway that you can see. Oh, there's a car there. You can't get hit by cars in this game, so you don't want to do that. You don't want to get hit by the car. Okay. Now we've got another investigation we've got to do. Run through here. Now we've got to find out where these guys moved their hideout to, because that's what they did. They moved. But they left a box here from the moving company. We're just going to give the moving company a ring. And then they're just going to... tell us where we need to go. So we need to go to Pink Street. Alright. I'm going to go to Pink Street now. This is actually... The building we're going to is actually the KJ Art Building. Oh, I need to despawn that fight because they're going to see me. No, that's how you despawn fights. Because the cutscene trigger here is not an area trigger, so it's very different from the other one that I mentioned. Right, this is a stealth. Right. So Kaito's stealths are a little bit different than Yagami's stealths. In that, he can actually get seen by the enemies and do something about them. Do that. Now, this is another thing that Kaito can do. He can hit people with doors to open them. Okay. You get to skip the cutscene of the first one. You have to watch all the other ones, so you do get to see him. You actually have to go into this room and get that dialogue box, or you can't go upstairs. It's really weird. Now you want to avoid the little square there, and you want to be seen by this guy, because Kaito, unlike Yagami, if he gets seen by a thug or a Yakuza member in the stealths, he can just beat him up instead of just losing automatically. If it's a policeman, because there is a stealth where we have to deal with policemen in this, Kaito does in fact not punch the policeman, because that would be bad. Okay. And this is the cutscene we skipped of him hitting a guy over a door. But yeah, the guy opens the door and he slams it in his face. I will do it here, but I don't normally do it. But if you run too early to these doorways after opening them, Kaito has to open them again. So yeah, normally you like sandbag for a second just to not have that happen. Right. Now there's another one of these. We actually have to go in this room anyway because there's a key that we need. You can run outside to where there's a gate thing that we need to open, but Kaito can't lockpick like Yagami can. So, yeah, we have to go grab the key, which is just on the floor in this room for some reason. Alright. I'll open the door. He says hell yeah to a lock because he beat it. He says hell yeah suck it door because he opened it with a key and obviously bodied it in every capacity. This guy sees you, which is fine. Back up again. Right, I need to do a quick menu now. I need to put on the item I picked up from the bin, which is the demonic Fundoshi, and buy a couple of abilities. So we're gonna pause real quick. Oh, okay, that's not what I wanted. Fishy, then we're gonna buy that one, buy Grip and Pole Driver, and buy Grow Finisher. And that's pretty much all the abilities we need for the rest of the run. We need to buy level 3 in attack, but that's practically it. Every other ability is not needed, so we don't like waste time grabbing them. Right, this is Fudo the Killer. He's a character that appears in some sub-stories in Judgment. What we're going to do is going to go into EX mode. And we're going to go into Tank. And Tank automatically grabs items that are close by to it, so we're going to do that. What I just did there was when bosses get to their heat phase, basically, they start an attack. They charge up and they start an attack where they basically take no damage. But if you use a heat action on them, it knocks them out of that action. You do that a lot in Judgment by using the wall jumps, by like jumping off of walls and such as Yagami. I can't do the wall jumping stuff, so you need to just grab an item and just smack them with it. Right, we need to lose the pursuer, who's literally stood less than a few centimeters away from us. Right there outside. We change into another set of clothes in front of him and he goes, damn, I've lost him. Now we need to go to the batting centre. That's where we said we'd meet Jun. Alright, we're going to go to the batting centre, which is up here. Okay. Right, then after that we need to go back to the Yagami Detective Agency again. Much like the first game in Judgment, Kaito has to go back there a number of times. Not as much as Yagami normally does. Yagami goes back there like every 5 minutes to either sleep or do something, or he finds a dead body at one point. You're like, oh, okay. Everything goes on in this one tiny office area. That's these guys. Something funny about the Dragon engine, which is the engine that this game runs on, is that when you're opening doors like that, the double set of doors down there, if there's a double set of doors, you need to open the door from the middle, because the animation is like half a second faster than opening it from the left or the right. It's just a tiny little time save, which never really comes up, but it's very funny that that's just a thing. There's a couple of games where it actually matters immensely. In Yakuza Kiwami 2, there's a set piece where you have to open like 20 or something doors, and in that kind of an exaggeration, but it's a lot of doors you have to open. And it actually saves like a good 5 to 10 seconds to like actually open doors in the right way. And that's into chapter 2 because we find out from all that investigative work that we need to go see this doctor guy called Shirakawa. Now, excuse me, because I cannot remember where we go to see him. All I know is we go to his we go to his like doctor's practice then. This is the flashback Kaito's having with Mikiko about eating breakfast and having a nice time before he goes and kills people. I wish that was a joke, that's just what it is. Tell him that the cleaning lady ratted him out. And we've got to do some investigative work again. Right. I'm back here, which is too nice for him, so we suspect. There's a picture of Mikiko here. Oh. I'm going to look at the bag, and I'm going to look at the date. So, the reason why they're looking for this woman Mikiko is because she was supposedly dead, but yeah, she hasn't been dead. The reason why we need to look at the date on that picture is because it shows that she was alive after the date that she supposedly died. And this is us just asking for background information, and then about how she had amnesia and all this other stuff about why she wouldn't remember who she is and why she didn't go back and things like that. Right. Now, this is the blue hair guy. Blue hair guy does get appears a number of times, but first I'm going to just go my level 3 attack, and now we're done with our abilities, and now we're going to... Oh. Don't you dare go over there, Nishio. Now, that big double kick move there is called Gory Gory Finisher. And what Gory Gory Finisher does is it knocks enemies up into the air. Which is very useful because we can then do juggles on them, which is kind of Judgment's like addition to the Dragon Engine. So when enemies get knocked up into the air, as long as you keep hitting them, you can juggle them over and over and over again. I actually get the hit space, thank you. And this last guy. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, so, but in Judgment, you could do it indefinitely and your damage didn't scale. But in this game, if you juggle for too long, you start doing, like, no damage. So you have to be very, like, careful with what you decide to do in your juggle combos. Because technically, Kaito here can juggle infinitely, but he only does a certain amount of damage. So what I just did there was, I stance changed after a move to cancel the move, so then I had more time to do my juggle. Another more reversal. So what I'm doing there is when you get the big circle thing on top of enemies. Okay, thank you for that. That is their big mortal attack. Now, in the first game when they introduced these in Judgment, the big mortal attacks, you just had to either dodge them or not be near them. Then if they hit you, they basically reduced your max HP until you went and got it healed. Guns also did this as well. But in this game, they made it so that you could dodge and counter them instead of just getting absolutely blasted by them and losing access to max HP. Cool. QT worked. I've had that QT fail before for no reason, so I'm glad that it worked. But yeah, I didn't pull anything to Kenmochi. Kenmochi there pulls that out of the ground and tries to hit you with it. It's pretty funny. And also, he's, like, actually drunk. Like, completely. He's, like, off his head on wine. It's pretty much, he just shows up drinking wine, someone gives him more and he drinks it again, and then he pulls a lamppost up and goes, I'm gonna hit you with it. Alright, so now, here's where the any difficulty part of the any percent comes in. So I'm actually going to change the difficulty down to simple mode. Because what that does is, it means that enemies in stealths don't catch you as fast, and enemies in tailing sections, the bar that they use to see you doesn't fill up as fast either. Now, the reason why this is kind of a thing is because in the first stealth section, it's faster to play on easy mode than it is to play on simple because the guys see you faster on easy mode. But it's faster to just change to simple. Oh my god, I didn't mean to grab the bin. Okay. I wanted the chair, not the bin. But that worked out. But yeah, so it's faster to do the first stealth on easy mode in the KJ art building, and then at the start of this chapter, right now, changing it to simple, and then leaving it on simple for the rest of the run. One thing you do have to make sure you do though is you need to turn off this thing called Action Assist. What Action Assist does is it automatically does things like heat moves and stuff for you at the end of combo strings, which you just don't want it to do. It just automatically does like finishers, heavies, combat things, and no, because we want more control over what we're doing, we turn it off, but we need the benefits granted of being on simple mode. Right. These guys have guns. One major difference between this game and other Yakuza games is that because these guys are good guy detective guys, they don't actually use guns, so any time a firearm is in an enemy's hand and it drops to the ground, in every other Yakuza game, excluding Judgment, you would be able to pick up the gun and use it, but yeah, these guys are good guys, so they're not allowed to use guns. Right, this is Kubo. Kubo is about to get, like, destroyed by a bench. Right. Once you get Kubo to a certain amount of HP, these guys will spawn in. But we want to destroy Kubo. And these guys all have guns, so you need to be careful with them. If Kubo's in the right position, you can take all these guys out with the bench as well. But he just wasn't there, so I had to just deal with him normally. Alright. Oh yeah, this building's been on fire this entire time. That's why we came up here. Because Mikiko was up there trying to kill some people because it turns out that she's on a bit of a murder quest because something that happened with her family, so she's going after all the people that caused her family's death. Oh hey, it's Sadamoto again. He turns up because he wants to see Jun, his son, and Jun goes no and runs away. Alright, we need to go... Oh god. We need to go up to the burnt building again. So we're actually going to taxi from where we are at the bottom of Tenkaichi Street to halfway up Tenkaichi Street because it's actually faster than running with the load times of this version of this game on the PS5. Alright, so now we're going to go in here. Now, we got the stealth section. So this is the cop skip like version 3 or something. On simple mode, you can run past all these guys like this. Concentrate so I don't mess this up. These guys. Now there's a policeman out here, a Rosa out here. Hopefully he doesn't see me. He saw me. Oh, this is going to be bad now. So that's pretty random. Sometimes you can be in a worse position than others. Now I got to do this kind of slowly, hopefully. And as you can see, you go back to start the stealth. There is a checkpoint that you can pick up, but I don't pick it up. Oh my word, I got stuck on the bar. See, this is like the part of the run which can like lose you the most amount of time is this stealth right here. It just not working. Here, remember. Oh, isn't in the wrong position again? Oh, he is in the wrong position again. Of course he is. Alright. This is going to be a case of I'm just going to have to wait for this guy now. So whenever you fail this, the position of all the guys, the position of all the guys changes somewhat, so their cycles are a little bit off, but that guy's the worst guy. I got caught on the frickin' chair! Oh no! Absolute tragic. Right. And lose again. Or past the chair. Boss 1 has been completed. Right. Up the stairs again. And I'm just going to have to wait for this guy, I think, because he's going to be off cycle. Wait for a second for the guy, see if he can door. Yep, there he is. I knew he'd be off cycle again. So normally doing this entire stealth skip skips this guy basically walking around. And then I'm walking out again, and now I can just kind of run past him. Then this guy, you just run past like that, and then you have to wait him. SMH, man. All right. That's like a good couple of minutes of stealth section boarding me. So this little thing where we get stuck in this position, because when you're stuck on one of these hiding things, you can't move until you've thrown the coin, but you can't throw a coin if there's not a guy near you to be distracted by it. So, but we have to just sit there, wait for him. And it's still faster if you get everything first try than doing this like somewhat normally. That is probably the worst stealth I've had in a long time. Okay. Right, the reason why we want to sneak into the building is because we want to do some investigation. Kaito's ears are good enough that he can hear this hard drive whirring a little bit, so take from that what you will of having good or bad hearing. We need to get inside that drawer, so we need to find something to do it. Luckily, there's a crowbar over here. Odd. Lucky, isn't it? Yep, so we grab the crowbar, go back over here. Crowbar to open it. There's a tablet in this drawer. The code for this tablet is somewhere in this room. It's 413625. And I remember where it is, not always. Here we go. And now we find basically Mikiko's target list of who she's going after. First, we got to get that hard drive looked into. So this is Tsukumo. Tsukumo's like the tech genius in this franchise of spin-offs. So we're going to send off the hard drive to him. We're going to ship it on a motorbike. And yeah. Now, because we need to find out what Kenmochi's doing, we're going to go and say hi to Kenmochi and do kind of the long, slow section of this, which is the tailing section. Which we do have ways to speed up, but the first couple of parts we don't have any ways to speed up. So, Trasha, feel free to take over for a second.
You got it. In the meantime, I would like to tell you a little bit about the organization that we're donating towards. We're raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental health issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind. Thank you very much.
Right, so in tailing sections, there's a lot of different things you need to be wary of. Like the sounds you make, who you bump into, how close you are to the tailing target, and if you can't see them, a countdown appears on screen. It says like 30 seconds or whatever until like this one you're losing them. But yeah, just basically waiting for this guy and this woman to walk into different areas. Luckily in this one, in some of the other tailing sections, multiple people are can see you and stuff, but in this one it's only the orange guy, the guy glowing orange. That's Kenmochi. Over here. And that's the end of the first part. Right, so the second part is kind of a bunch of the same. We're basically going to wait for them to walk around. We can say we can look at the pizza, the fish, and the cowboy hat. But we're just going to stand here for a second. So signs and walls and stuff you can hide behind, and when you're hidden, the guys can't see you. So pretty useful. He's going to go look at the sushi restaurant real quick. We can also look at the menu as well. He's going to get bored and go, no, I'm not down for this. But we're just going to wait here for a second, because he's going to walk all the way over to where that truck is over there. Our truck, whatever you want to call it. So we just have to wait for him to walk over there a little bit, because if we get too close to him, he'll turn around and see us. If he does turn around and see you, you can hold triangle to do a "oh, I'm not actually here right now" thing, which is look at your phone, tie your shoelaces. We'll pass this here. I'm gonna run up here and that now. We're gonna completely ignore everything that our tailing section does now and run in front of our tailing target, getting seen by him when we don't want to be seen. Running all the way over here. Because the cutscene trigger for the fight at the end of that section is just there. So we can just run over there and grab it. And skipping that entire part of the tail. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, so we grabbed a motorbike to hit those guys. Not much to say about that one. Right, so we can't actually get that cutscene until the camera changes to that angle there showing the guys being like, oh no. Now we've got to go here. Up here. Alright. Now, this part of the tail, we just have to go around the corner. But yeah, we need to wait for a second. We're actually hidden right now, but for some reason, this hiding spot after that cutscene kind of bugs out a little bit. And you're just stood up. You are hidden. You are doing what Jun's doing there right now. You can just appreciate Kaito in a suit and a booted for a second while we're waiting for this guy to walk around the corner. Right, he's gone around the corner now. We can, as you can see, I tried to move and I crouched again because I was actually in the hiding state. We'll pass the hotel around here so he doesn't. Oh god, the woman got stuck. That can happen sometimes. Dragon engine shenanigans. He turns around sometimes there for like a second or so, and then it ends this part. Right, there we go. And now we're going to also, again, in this part, ignore the entire point of this and run in front of our guy here. Really dip in there. Run around the corner here, because the trigger for the fight spawn is, again, just there. So we're going to go there, grab that motorbike. Again, the moped here does a lot of damage. There we go. That's pretty alright. Oh wait. Can't skip this cutscene until the X appears in the bottom right hand corner. Go. Right. That's the end of that part of the stealth. Right, so this part of the stealth, he's actually got quite a high alert meter, so when the alert meter in the top right is pretty high, they actually have better like senses, sight, hearing and such, so they'll catch you earlier. So we're just going to quickly walk up here. And then we're going to hide behind this lovely orange car for a second. Hopefully when I move again, I don't accidentally step on top of the car, because you can do that, and it's annoying because you get a couple of... You have like a second of a falling animation you have to sit through. Oh. SMH. Up on the car, like I didn't want to. We're going to go up to the corner here. Wait. As you can see, because I stepped on the car, he heard me and turned around, which is why you don't want to step on the car. And he's going to walk up here because he's going to this hotel up on the corner here behind this. If you play Yakuza 3, it's the hotel that you go to in that game for a set piece. Come on, get to the end, please. Yeah, that's the tail complete. Alright, now that we've done that, we're going to go in there. We're going to go up the lift. And during this time in the lift, Kaito changes from his suit back into his regular clothing. Don't ask me how. Alright, we'll grab this potted plant. And potted plant is real good. So, unlike other Yakuza games, two-handed weapons with Kaito are kind of weird, but one-handed weapons are like insanely good. I can't really explain why, because normally it's the opposite, where one-handed weapons are kind of bad, but then two-handed weapons are like insanely good. Alright, so that was the last thing I'm going to pick up. It's like the heroic talisman or something. It gives us a 10% more attack. Sorry, I'm just swinging my potted plant right now. Right, that's those guys dealt with. Emoji is in this room here. Go. Alright. Now Kenmochi was about to get in the jacuzzi. The reason why we're here is because he has Makiko. That's basically it. She's on the bed there. So we're going to go into EX mode again. We're going to change into Bruiser. And we're going to go for a juggle. Oh, we're actually in a good position right now. Grab the table to hit him out of that EX charge. Go, and hopefully you should... There we go. Easy money. Right, so once you get him down to a certain amount of HP, he does this QT. But basically, at the end of this QT, there's like 3 inputs we got to do, and then it's over. You can actually fail these QTs and like you like get knocked down, and then you can just finish the fight. But it's actually faster to just finish it in this cutscene. Basically, it. So yeah, we're gonna hit ourselves around a bit. Jump in the jacuzzi. You can jump in the jacuzzi during the fight, but you don't really want to do that. It can get a bit like wacky if you do that. Another thing with changing the difficulty of this game to simple, it makes every single QTE input for these ones with the circles and bosses, it makes them all square. They're all the same input rather than all different ones. And yeah, once you defeat Kenmochi and save Makiko, again, that's the end of chapter 3. Alright, we're in chapter 4. This is the final chapter of the Kaito files, where we're now going to go basically solve all the problems. Right, so first things first, we're going to take Makiko back to the to these detective guys, fake detective guys, and we're going to ask her about some questions about why she's doing what she's doing, and basically it's because she's mad that her parents died at the hands of these guys, and she wants to take revenge on them. That's the TLDR. After all the questioning, she kind of like runs away to go finish her plan to basically kill her husband, who's Sadamoto, who is actually the mastermind behind killing her parents, which is that's the big reveal. Oh. I'm gonna grab the vase there, do a bit of damage, and then okay. Okay, now that he's now this guy's going to EX mode, that's fine. Right. Don't you dare do that to me, Igarashi. Okay, cool. That was pretty awkward there. That wasn't an amazingly good fight. But yeah, that worked out a little bit. So on that guy, it's not really faster to do another key action on him. It's just faster to just wait for him to do it, hit him, and then finish up your combo. Right. Jun is waiting for us at the Yagami Detective Agency, so we're just going to go there, go over there and say hi to him. Here and around here, get another chance to open a door incorrectly. Oh my god, there's people everywhere. Nope, I opened the door correctly. We in there. And what's funny is, Jun's like, yeah, sure, can I come with you for a second? So we're going to take Jun all the way up here. We have a couple of extra phone call cutscenes we've got to sit through. So the first one's about Shirakawa being like, have you found Makiko? If you want to come chat, I'm over. So there's a couple of other things you can do on the side before going to the final set piece. But now Yagami's going to phone and be like, oh yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Here you go. We're going to go down here. Talk to Sender again. And then basically Jun's going to be like, can I come with? You brought me all the way here. And then he just goes, nah, you got to stay here now. I'm like, oh, really? Right, so in this car right here, Kaito kind of gets a little bit more of a lowdown on what's happening. So the fire earlier was to destroy evidence, and the proof is the hard drive. And then he's like, who is this Sadamoto? And then Igarashi here is like, oh yeah, he killed people. And Makiko be mad. Which is kind of everything. So now we got to sneak our way into the party that we're heading to, which is where Sadamoto is, and find out what's happening. And the most logical step is to do what we're about to do. So I'm gonna. Yeah, there's a couple of extra cutscenes you can activate by walking into triggers in this, but you don't activate them. But instead, you can look at that waiter and go, "We need waiter's clothes." So we're gonna go over here first because there's a key we need to grab. The key is pretty important because we need it to open a door in a minute. But the door's all the way on the other side, like in like a different corridor. It's faster to come here, grab the key, and then go over to the other side and do what we need to do. There are conversations that tell you that there is a key in the bathroom, but if you know where it is, you can just go grab it. These guys tell you about a guy who's lazy and is always like slacking off. So. And there's a smoking area where we need to go. And that's what the key was for. And here we go. This is Tashiro. Tashiro is a character in Judgment. He was a Yakuza. Oh god, didn't we do that? He was a Yakuza guy that was about. Are we just gonna grab a chair and go nuts on him? Oh my god, Dragon Engine! Ragdolls like that is a Dragon Engine absolute classic right there. I've never seen him fly like that before. That's pretty good, actually. That's a good ragdoll. Normally ragdolls happen when enemies have been defeated, but that happened like mid-combat. That's kind of rare. That's kind of fire. Alright, now we got the waiter's uniform on. Because Tashiro's size is exactly the same as Kaito's. Yeah, that's how it works, right? Alright, we talked to 2 people, now we're going to go take the waiter's uniform off. So we did all that work to get the waiter's uniform to talk to 2 people to go, now we don't need it anymore. And yeah, here's the blue hair guy again who appears and goes, "Ah yes, you're here, let me punch you." Alright, we're going to go into EX mode. Punch this guy. So something about EX mode is normally when I'm cancelling out of my juggles for Gori Gori finisher, you normally have to do this, which is a stance cancel. Do it, but when you're in EX mode, you can cancel out of the big double finishers without doing that. Can you get hit, please? Thank you. And then he gets back up again, because of course, and now we're going to beat him up again. So instead of using EX mode, I'm just going to beat him up normally, doing stance cancels. Like that. And this guy should go down like this. Another guy with an orange HP bar here that you want. Oh god. Wasn't too bad. Alright. So now we're taking care of those guys. We gotta go deeper into the hotel. So we're gonna go upstairs now. Oh, yep, I opened the door correctly. Go up here, there's these 2 guys in this room, and like, who the hell are you? Now we're gonna go activate EX mode. Okay, that was an awful stance change. Why did I do that? There we go. Alright, cool. That guy is now down. Alright. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we've got the doorway right again. It's the little things. Alright, now we got a big group fight. Big group fight is easy. We're just going to go and do our big AoE attacks to build up a ton of meter for our heat mode. And now we're just going to go nuts. Alright, that was kind of weird. Alright, there we go. That's the big group fight. Right, after the big group fight, the next couple of guys we run past are actually going to stealth by for some reason. I really don't understand why they're like, right, we're going to punch our way through all these guys, but for the next 2 people now, we're going to walk, we're going to not be seen, or try and not be seen while going past them. But there is actually a skip you can do for one of these guys. I'll see if I can get it. It's pretty difficult to get a lot of the time. So you need to like run all the way up here. Stop here for a second. Run there like that. No, you saw me. It's very much a YOLO trick. It saves like 15 seconds if you get it, because you don't have to sit through this animation. Like 10 to 15 or something, because there's like a startup stuff and you have to like sit there through it. It's probably only like 5 or so, but yeah. It also saves a little bit of time because whenever you fail or you get seen by one of these guys, a bit of your HP bar goes. So if you skip one of them, you actually don't have to like chug a healing item here real quick just to make sure you're like not gonna die. Because there's a guy with a gun in the next fight, and guns, even on simple, do a lot of damage to you. So yeah, there's our boy with a gun. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna go grab these single-handed chairs and start going absolutely ham on everyone. Alright. Quickly get rid of. Something else about chairs as well is that because they're one-handed, your running animation is like normal with them. You don't have to worry about like your slower running animation. You can actually run fast with them. which is another reason why they're better than two-handed with Kaito, because his enemies can end up like this or a little bit further away from each other. Oh my god, that chair went flying. Now we're on the corner, I can just go nuts with a chair. That was a really good fight, actually. He kind of got jolted a little bit there. I didn't mean to press that. Alright. Now we're out of that fight. We're going to go around here, and now we're going to go deal with Sadamoto. Alright, so in this final cutscene before Sadamoto, it reveals all of his master plan. So, but first things first, we're going to try and tell Kenmochi that I didn't mean to press that one. That the Natsume Arson was no accident, because basically Sadamoto got Kenmochi's group to set fire to the Natsume's home, thinking they weren't there. But they were there, and he deliberately made it so that they were, so he could kill them. Take over their wine company. That's pretty much the story. And then he gets upset, and then a bunch of people die because Sadamoto poisoned the wine. And now we get to punch him. Yeah. So Sadamoto all along was main villain. Again, his nickname for us in the Yakuza community is Knife Daddy. Because he's Jun's father, who happens to like knives. And he's the one who gave Jun his like phobia of the sharp objects known as knives. So that's why he's a bit of a villain. Alright. The Sadamoto fight. He's got a bunch of attacks which you do not want to see. He has a, like, he can do different status effects, including one that blinds you, so your, like, lock-on doesn't work. I didn't mean to go into EX mode, so this is going to be a little bit of a jank fight at the end. But yeah, that QT there is always double X on simple and easy. That. Dodge that move. And now we're going to try juggling for the... Can you get juggled, please? Thank you. Right, literally the final hit, he's like, now I'll get hit by Guri finisher. Of course I will. Thank you, good sir. That was a pretty mediocre fight. Right. So, the knife that he sliced Kaito's hand with actually had a little bit of the poison on it. So after that fight, Kaito do get knocked out and he has to go to hospital. Which is why you're in the hospital. You have a nice heart-to-heart with Jun there. And now Jun tells you that Mikiko is at Shirakawa's clinic, kind of recovering. Now, Kaito's going to go over there and be like, no, I would like to take Mikiko home. Shirakawa's like, how about no? I like Mikiko. So, the only way forward in this situation for these two grown men is to take their shirts off and punch each other. There's absolutely no other way for this to go down. So Shirakawa here is the final fight of this, but unfortunately, Shirakawa kind of gets bodied by Grippling Piledriver. I brought Grippling Piledriver back in Chapter 2, but this is the reason why we buy it. So this guy kind of gets bodied. So the way this works is the heavy into Grippling Piledriver. If enemies get up in certain ways, they never block the heavy. If they get up in certain ways, so you can just use this to just input certain bosses. Works on a number of different bosses in the Kaito files. But it works the best on this guy, which is kind of funny. Go. Now we've got to try and get him back into it. There we go. Right. Time does come up at the end of this fight, I should say, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Oh, thank you for the pal. Oh, okay. Rakaba. Go. And when you get down to a certain amount of HP, which is about now, he starts to set QTEs and times on the last QTE input. So there's 4 of them. So there's 1, 2, 3, and here's the last one. I'll call time. And time. Alright. That was actually not a too terrible Kaito run. Outside of the cop stealth section going absolutely, completely tragically, that actually wasn't too bad. But yeah, so yeah, that's in the Kaito files. I'd like to give a shout out to all the Yakuza speedrunners, especially all the people that run this game. Yeah, fun short little Yakuza speedrun when most of the Yakuza games are like 2 to 5 hours long. It's nice to have like a nice hour-long one. So if you want to give a Yakuza game a go, the Kaito files is actually one of the nicer speedruns to get into. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That's it from me. Enjoy whatever comes up next on BSG Online.
Thank you very much for the great run, rebeldragon95. Coming up, we got Tony Cardados with Disney's Lilo and Stitch, which we'll be setting up for right now. So don't go too far because you surely don't want to miss this.